Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the season premiere of South Park, Dead Kids. And this was a pretty good episode and a pretty good way to start the season. Cause at first when I saw the kind of preview clip, I'm like, okay, where are they gonna kind of go with this? And they were able to execute it pretty well and keep everything going without having anything kind of overstay its welcome. So we start off and we see that the kids are getting a test back, and a couple of them got really bad grades on it, and they are talking about fractions and everything. And of course, when you're in school, fractions are a bitch. So right as they're like going along and trying to get through all this stuff, a shooting occurs at the school, and they're just going through as if nothing's going on, even though they have to speak over the gunshots and the police coming in and trying to do all that kind of stuff, which was done pretty well. Cartman, which also started off the kind of B storyline of Cartman being pissed off because he failed it, but Token didn't. And come to find out, Token has known that Cartman's been cheating off him, so he decided to put all the wrong answers and then erase them and put all the right answers. And that's just a great Token way to get back at frickin' Cartman. So that starts off his B storyline. I'm trying to figure out why Token would do this to him and what's going on with that. So our A storyline is that Sharon comes to school. The kids are not affected really at all. Cartman's just bemoaning that he had failed the test and trying to figure out why Token's trying to get back at him. And Sharon comes up to Stanley and just like freaking out and everything, and we're taking you home and we'll talk to your dad about this. And I was like, dude, what's up her ass? It's like, really? It's really kind of interesting when you are trying to when the majority of South Park, the residents don't have the reaction that you expect, and you're pretty much on with Sharon's reaction where everybody thinks she's crazy, and for the bulk of the episode, Randy thinks that she's like on her period or menopause. It's just, it can be overdone if you overplay it, but in this episode, the creators really had a good deal of kind of evening it out. So they get home and they're talking about it over dinner, and I loved Randy's reaction to the school shooting. And it's like, oh yeah, I failed this math quiz and there's a school shooting, and then Randy's like, there's a school shooting. Was it you? And he's like, no. And he's like, did you get shot? And I was like, oh, okay. What about this, you failing this math quiz and everything? It's just the way they had Randy say it just worked perfectly. And of course, Sharon gets freaking pissed off and storms off, and this is where Randy tries to like talk her down, and she's like, no, I don't know why all of you are being so crazy and not being emotional about this. And Randy's just like, oh god, I have to deal with this for like 3 days when he has to go out, and it's like, alright, whatever. So we transition and we see that Cartman and Token are talking with PC Principal, and Cartman has come under the impression that Token is out to get him because he had said bad things about the Black Panther movie. Which, I love that. That was just, like, typical Cartman, ragging on a movie, gotta link it, and there we go. It just fit within his wheelhouse. He's like, I never said anything like that. And them trying to dance around that Cartman was cheating was great, while Mackie goes into the background. Another school shooting is going on. He's trying to deal with this situation. He's directing the police to the active shooter situation, but then says, no, that's the wrong kid. It's just, oh my god. It was insanity. And it just executed so well. The bouncing back and forth of Mackie in the background doing his thing, and Cartman and Token and PC Principal. So Sharon gets fed up with what's going on and calls this kind of meeting together. And Randy is trying to tell in not very subtle terms to Butters' father that Sharon is like on her period and everything. But that was the only one that kind of got a little bit annoying. it didn't get an outright completely, I need this to stop beating this dead horse, because he starts doing that for kind of other situations as well. First with the period and then with the menopause, but it doesn't completely overstay its welcome. So we get to them trying to talk about it, but it doesn't happen, and instead they start talking about upgrading a park. And this sets Sharon off, of course, being like, why are all of you crazy? And Randy is just dejected because he doesn't know how to deal with the situation. The shootings of everything have just become completely normal to the residents of South Park, and they don't know how to deal with Sharon, who wants something to be done. She proactively tries to get something together, and everybody just ignores the situation. We get back to Cartman, and he's trying to get dirt on Token. Meanwhile, we have found that the school has deemed it prudent to arm Butters the hall monitor with a frickin' assault rifle. You could have picked any kid. You picked the one that burned down the gym. Oh, God. But Cartman enlists him within his kind of plan to try and figure out dirt on Token, because if he fails this math quiz again, he's going to get grounded from Fortnite. I like that subtle just injection of Fortnite in there. I'm like, yeah, okay. So he's trying to dig up dirt and everything, finding out that previously he'd found out, we're talking with PC Principal, that Token had not seen the Black Panther movie. So he's trying to figure out what's going on, trying to get through his girlfriend, trying to talk with his parents. Evidently his parents had seen it, and the rule is that Token doesn't see PG-13 movies without his parents. And Cartman's like, oh, okay, this is how I get him. I find out that he went and saw it without them. Ha! That's how I get him. And he just thinks he's like steps ahead and everything, and Token is just going, trying to figure out how to deal with this situation. So Cartman's got his deadline to try and figure out. All of these shootings are happening on, he's talking with the guys. Butters' father brings up that it could potentially be menopause. Randy then goes to the scene of another school shooting and talks with the paramedic to figure out what menopause is, because he doesn't know what menopause was, and is completely freaked out when he learns that it could last for 2 years. I'm like, yeah, think about that. It's just, everything was going just working so well. So the intersections kind of happen in a weird kind of crazy tandem. Two mothers come to Sharon and tell her that there's a school shooting going on at South Park, so they rush over. But it is Randy essentially trying to tell her that he loves her and everything like that, with all of the people involved in school on a school day, which then coincides with another school shooting. It was just complete chaos and anarchy, and it was funny as shit. Because he's doing this like song and everything like that. Sharon is just, what the fuck is going on here? So Cartman goes and believes that he has Token dead to rights. Okay, I've got you. I'll disseminate that you went to the movie without your parents if you let me fail this thing. And he's going, no. Cartman then thinks in his mind that you saw the Black Panther movie and didn't like it. That's why you don't want anybody to know about it. And the look on Token's face was just fucking priceless. Like, whatever. Well, if we don't hurry up, we're both gonna fail, because fourth period is starting. So Cartman tries to drag him along while a school shooting starts up. Frickin' Butters is like standing in the hallway and is like, alright, Butters, we need to get you need to give us cover and everything. So they're running through and they get into the classroom on time. They run through Randy doing his freaking song with all the people while all the shooting's going on, and it just works so well, going, dodging everything, going up the steps. So they get in there, and Token's pretty much deciding to let him cheat, because we don't get into Token's head in this episode, but I believe he just is going, okay, Cartman is going to fuck with me either way. Just shut him up. This, incidentally enough, sets off Cartman's mind going, wait a minute, if we know that the Black Panther movie is not good, there must be others. So I can't let this ride. And he intentionally fails. He crumples up the paper and doesn't do the math quiz. Which just completely fits in line with Cartman's complete and utter crazy logic that he sometimes uses to make sure that his version of reality is correct. We end the episode with Sharon just pretty much playing it off as emotions and everything, because she had also been to a therapist. That's where we saw Randy trying to tell the therapist that she was potentially going through menopause, and she told everybody to try to have some compassion. But she just plays it off and just decides to go along with them. She then gets a phone call that Stan has been shot and says that it's not the end of the world. And you just sit there for a moment and think about the insanity of it all. That you would change right at that moment and be like, oh, okay, yeah, there's no big deal going on. It's just going to be what it's going to be. And you're just going, wow. Okay, they did a really good job of kind of just saying these things are going on and just exploring them in a pretty good South Park way. So, those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.